Hello, I'm Super Orange Cat, and I decided I might as well make a video about Anime Expo Lite. Now, Anime Expo Lite, the most notable thing with regards to Toonami is the production IG panel. Happened yesterday at 2:10 Eastern Time, 11:10 Pacific Time, and really, the title says it all. There really wasn't that much to really go on with regards to Toonami, but we did get kind of throughout the whole presentation, numerous times they talked about how they're excited at the relationship with Toonami and how things were going well with Toonami. And there was a brief 1 minute video portion with Jason DeMarco where he did specify that he and Maki were currently working on, I specifically quote, three or four different projects going on, which is something I did personally speculate before, saying that, if they're currently working on Uzumaki, then there's likely the other stuff they already announced will be Toonami Originals, probably be produced by Production IG USA. So that's really not much of a stretch and something I think a lot of us could have really connected the dots on. And he also said that Uzumaki, more information's coming soon, how he specifically loved the music, he loved the visuals so far. That's a very common theme with him with regards to this, and definitely with regards to Black Lotus. I talked about how he liked how the music is ongoing, and that's a pretty interesting, specific thing for him to talk about a lot. And I guess we'll know what that means when those shows actually do eventually come to fruition. And he mentioned the visuals, which obviously that's going to be the case because, we already had the teaser trailer where we saw some of, the early work on it, and it really looked really beautiful, too. And I think that was part of the reason why the hype got so massive so quickly for this, is because you see these, teaser trailers, you see these tiny little bits of animation, and they looked beautiful. And you already saw some of the stills. The Uzumaki team sent that out, a month or so ago. Some of the what's that called? The storyboards of the first episode or so, and people really seem jazzed by it as well. And other than that, though, we really don't get much. Like I said, he said "Oh, Uzumaki, we're gonna get more information soon." No, he does not specify a date for this. He just said, "Oh, it's gonna happen soon." And some people are saying, well, he's referring to the Adult Swim Con, which is in a few weeks. He already specified that, oh, Tanami's time on that's going to be on Saturday. So the date marked in red for Toonami, I guess now, is now July 25th, which is when that date's supposed to be, which is 3 weeks from yesterday, 20 days from now, as I'm recording this video. So, I mean, if we get the big one, like I hoped would happen yesterday but didn't happen, then that would probably be the date for it. Albeit this is the fourth or fifth different time I said that this will be the big one and it hasn't come yet, which really isn't that good news for Toonami. And ultimately, there was one brief part also in this panel where someone mentioned about strongly implying that, oh, we're kind of on some type of developed stage with an IP with Toonami, with Adult Swim, which means that possibly with this, more information coming, which I think a lot of people are tentatively setting for that July 25th date. It's going to be more information about Uzumaki. I think a lot of people are really hoping for an air date finally. A lot of people still hoping it's going to be on October 10th. I'm not so sure about it considering the little pieces we know about where they are with their animation. And ultimately, it's just yeah, people talking about wanting the air date. They want an actual trailer, like a good 2 minute or so slice of animation, slice of the atmosphere of the show, which considering Junji Ito's works, that's going to be insanely important to Uzumaki, disproportionately so. For Fooly Cooly, you didn't really have to do that much for atmosphere because you just kind of have to show oh, it's a normal town. Oh, who's this weird pink-haired alien showing up? But for Uzumaki, especially with horror in general, not just horror manga, this is not even an anime-specific thing. If you're making something that's horror-related like this, you have to be able to set up an atmosphere, and that's something that Junji Ito does an amazing job with, and that's perhaps his biggest strength. And that is something that it's going to be a big task to set up. And hopefully that's what the music is about, because you have Jason DeMarco talking oh, I really like the music. Hopefully it's setting up that atmosphere. If so, then things can really come together perfectly for Uzumaki, even if the negative things I'm saying about it based on what I've seen so far. But again, and also it's and maybe with that July 25th day, it's more information about Uzumaki. Some people still holding out for more information about Black Lotus. We really haven't gotten anything since it was announced some months ago. And also maybe the next IP, which honestly, if we're getting an IP announcement now, that means we'll probably get it at the earliest in like 2022. But still, I mean, because like I said, Uzumaki was a quick turnaround. It was like supposed to air only about like a month and like a year and a few months after it was first announced. For example, Fully Cooley, it's the air date of Progressive was more than 2 years after it was announced. It was announced in like March 2016, and the first episode aired on June 2nd, 2018. So these things take time. And even if we get an announcement of it, that still means we're still long off from getting it. But at the same time, it'll be really interesting to see where we go from here. And now, as I'm showing you this still of Jason DeMarco talking, like during his video, during like the minute and a half long video he submitted in, because obviously, because of the whole COVID thing, he can't be in Japan, so he's still here in Atlanta. And he gave this video, and you might be wondering, well, that's a really strange shirt. It looks like it's censored. Well, that's because it is. And it kind of turned into this weird fake controversy I think he tried starting here, where the shirt did say F racism with F replaced by the actual word. And he tried making this into like a thing on Twitter. And a lot of people just in general are like not really like buying into the controversy because it's like when you wear a shirt that says like F anything, it's gonna get censored. Not because it's a controversial opinion or anything, it's because it has the F word in it. And that's the ultimately thing with this, just trying to play off like, oh, Anime Expo's scared of my political beliefs. Like, no, they're not. They're not at all. What they're doing here is like, hey, look, because you're gonna have this is like an online thing, so you have people watching around the world online, right? So maybe there's like a 7-year-old watching it, and its mom is like, and the mom of the 7-year-old's like a complete Karen or something, right? So she sees this kid, and the guy's shirt has the F word. She panics. She calls the HR department of Anime Expo, Production IG, and everyone's in trouble. And it's an unfortunate thing, but it's the type of thing that's going to inevitably happen with how a lot of these big companies have these very extensive HR departments. And what they do, half of what they do is like try to prevent controversies start from stuff like that. And it's the type of thing, it's like, in my theory, my personal theory I posted on Twitter about this is that the reason why Jason did this is not because of making a political statement as much as Toonami had no news to present. There really was nothing. It was just like, oh, things are going great, more information soon, but that over a minute and a half, basically. And the only new thing we got from Jason DeMarco is him specifying that he and Production IG are doing work on 3 to 4 shows, which is something that, like I said, a lot of people have already suspected to this point, considering how there seemed to be a pretty good relationship between Toonami and Production IG, that they're going to keep it going and keep the deal going with more and more shows. Uh, and that's really it, It was kind of more of a controversy. It didn't pick up into anything. There was nothing about it today. I mean, it's just like, again, that's just how things are right now. So again, kind of a nothing burger of a day for Toonami. Really seemed like it could have been something, not much developed, and a lot more got pushed back to Adult Swim Con or Virtual Comic Con or whatever they're deciding to call it. July 25th is the new date marked in red for Toonami. We're supposed to get a lot of information then. Let's hope we do, and hopefully it's not a bunch of not more pushing the bill back. And again, if you like this content, if you want more Toonami news, content like this, please like, please subscribe, and hit that notification button. I am Super Orange Cat, and that is all.